Welcome back to Morning Joe. We are joined now by former Georgia gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams. Since the November election, she founded the organization Fair Fight to increase voter registration. She was appointed as an endowed chair at Howard University and is now out with her second novel entitled Rogue Justice. Stacey, it's great to have you back on the show and can't wait to talk about the novel. I just want to do a little bit of politics first. I feel like the last time I saw you, women had a right to an abortion and women had health care that they need and they had the choices that they needed. And I want your thoughts on that and where things stand in the Democratic Party in the fight to gain back women's right to adequate health care.
Well, unfortunately, this is now a state-by-state fight, and in a number of states, the super gerrymandering that we've seen, the silencing of voices that has unfortunately occurred over the last decade or so, means that even though the majority of the population in most states object to eliminating access to the right to an abortion, those who have supermajorities are controlling the narrative. But we saw in 2022, while it didn't work in every state, in most states where the people had a chance to push back, they were able to stop extreme abortion laws from taking place. And my hope is that we will continue the fight. Democracy exists so that we can have the type of society we seek. And that means that we have to have voters who have access to those opportunities and that we have to have districts that allow those voices to truly be heard.
Stacey, hi, it's Jennifer Palmieri. It's really good to see you. You know, a lot of people talk to me about we need to do in, fill in the blank state, Mississippi, Alabama, other southern states, what Stacey Abrams and others built in Georgia in terms of progressive infrastructure to help Democrats do better in these states. Can you explain that process that you went through? I mean, I know this was maybe decades in the making about building that kind of infrastructure, particularly in these other southern states.
Well, it was a 10-year process to get us really started, and it's three pieces. One is investment, and that investment can't be itinerant. It can't be occasional. It has to be consistent. Second, it's making certain that you're building at every level, at the grassroots, at the grass tops, and at the grass stalks. And three, it's understanding you're going to lose on your way to progress. I have an extraordinary patience for this work because I understand that we are not simply changing infrastructure. We're helping people own their power. And for so many, power it's terrifying. And if they don't believe that it's real, they're not going to risk it. And part of what helped us in Georgia for so long is that we have the patience of losing some, winning some, but always working towards more.
Stacey, I've got two quick questions. First, quickly, which southern state do you think is ripest for the sort of transformation you helped accomplish in Georgia? And second, tell us about the novel.
Thank you. Well, I think that we have an exciting set of elections coming up in Mississippi with Brandon Presley running against a very weakened Tate Reeves. I think that Andy Beshear is going to put on a very credible race against Daniel Cameron. He has been a strong governor, and that is a real opportunity. And because these are off-year elections, I think it's very important that we pay attention to these two southern states and that we invest heavily in their success. For my purposes, I'm going to be focusing on a lot of different parts of my life, but I'm so excited to bring Avery Keene back to the pages. She appeared first in While Justice Sleeps, and she has a new adventure where she uncovers blackmail in the FISA courts, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance courts. Most people don't realize that we have the secret court that does not have to publish its opinions, which means often it is shielded from public attention. And Avery finds out that there is someone or some people who are trying to undermine not only our courts, but the infrastructure of our nation.
So this is your second in a series of legal thrillers. And how much out of real life do you take when you put the pen to paper and write these books?
I love writing because it gives me a chance to explore topics I normally wouldn't encounter or to take questions and curiosities that I want to expand on. So this one grapples with the as I said, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, but it also looks at cybersecurity issues that we have in this country. It looks at our power grid. And once you understand exactly how electricity gets to our homes, it's a little terrifying in itself. And then I also address the FARA's doctrine, which is a military issue in our courts where our military does not have access. Our military members do not have access to our civilian courts in a number of important ways. And so for me, the most interesting books take real life issues, amplify them, but everything I say is possible, not probable, but certainly possible.
The new book is entitled Rogue Justice, and Stacey Abrams, it's always great to have you on the show. Congratulations on the book, and thank you very much for being on this morning.
Thanks for having me.